What's up YouTube, Webbers5 here today, coming at you with a deck profile of my updated Horus Plunder Patrol. So I've been working on this deck for a while and finally got it finished out. I tested it out at a recent tag tournament I did, and my team came out in 5th place on tiebreakers with a score of 3-1 along with the other 4 people. But because of who we lost to, we got put down into the bottom section, which wasn't great, but overall it was a great experience and I really enjoyed playing this deck. So before I quickly get into profile, guys, I just want to do a quick shout out to new subscriber I Am Baker. Thank you so much for subscribing. You're the reason my channel is growing stronger. And so without further ado, guys, let me get into the profile of my Horus Plunder. So starting with the Plunder engine, we've got Plunder Patrol side, we've got 3 Whitebeard, 3 Golden Hair, 3 Bluebeard, 3 Black Eyes, 2 Redbeard, 3 Shipyard, and 1 Booty. I feel this ratio is perfectly fine because so it's essentially 3 of all the main ones, 1 of the trap, because I've checked out builds. Not everyone plays the trap. I find it quite useful though. Redbeard's naturally one of the ones you least likely want to go into compared to the others, but it's still useful to have. So this ratio I find this ratio works fine. Next, my adventure engine has shrunk because I had to make space for all the Horus, so I'm now on a very minimal of packages. So 3 Water Enchantress, 1 Griffin Rider, 1 Rite of Aramasir, 1 Fateful, 1 Dracoback, and 1 Foolish Burial. Like I said, guys, really had to make some space for the Horus stuff. So yeah, severely cut back on the engine. But I found that this ratio still works fine because Water Enchantress is like the main thing because it just loops Rite of Aramasir from anywhere, so I don't really feel I need as many of it. Now for the Horus engine. Play 3 Imsity, 3 King Sarcophagus, 1 Happy, and 1 Walls. So for those who haven't seen what don't really know what the Horus engine does, I'll just give you a brief explanation. So essentially they're level 8 that revolve around King Sarcophagus, and the synergy that it has primarily with Plunder Patrol is that the Horus cards send stuff from hand to do things, which means they can trigger your Plunder Patrols. Imsity in particular is absolutely amazing with the synergy you can do. Imsity inherently is like, starting off, he's typically a +0, but depending on the stuff that you send with his effect, you can go to like +1s, 2s, etc. Because Imsity, for those who don't know, I'll give a quick rundown of Imsity's in-hand effect. So you send itself and another card in your hand to add King Sarcophagus, and then you get to draw a card. So because you're searching King Sarcophagus and drawing a card, that replaces the 2 cards. And then, as I said, depending on what you send, you get the extra benefits of whatever you send. And all Horus monsters have the effect that if King Sarcophagus is on the field, you can special summon them from the grave. So naturally, you do Imsity, send itself something else, grab King Sarcophagus, draw 1, activate King Sarcophagus, resurrect the Imset, and then go on from there. Unless of course naturally the discard that you made with the Imsity was Whitebeard, because then if you trigger Whitebeard's effect, naturally you'll be locked into Plunder Patrols. But sometimes that's still a good thing. And I've also found other advantages of the Horus engine in terms of the extra deck, but I'll get to that as I get into the extra deck. And then last cards in the main deck, playing 3 Imperm. I still just find it. I would probably prefer to be playing Forbidden Droplet, but I don't currently have any. I need to sort out getting some. So once I get those, I'll probably replace it with that. And then my limited trio for this deck: 1 Terraforming, 1 Mudora, and 1 Keldo. So 1 thing to search my field spell and the 2 Shufflers, just because it's quite useful. So that's it for the main deck. Going into the extra deck, starting with Lynx. Play 3 Blackbeard and 1 Almirage. So Almirage I find is still pretty useful if you like hard open a good plunder combo with just golden hair. So easy way to just link climb into the Blackbeard, and actually Blackbeard's just great for being able to tutor out any of your plunder patrols. Synchros, playing 2 Bran, 2 Yord. Most people just play the 1 Yord. I don't disagree with that, because to be frank, guys, outside of the effective Yord of generating a token, you don't really use it much for its other effect of its reactive effect of if your opponent's doing stuff like the other plunder patrols. I can't actually think of a time I've ever had to use its effect of like searching something. But again, naturally the primary reason we play it is because of the token generating. I'm just playing it at 2 because I had space in my extra deck. And then Brad, naturally very good for disrupting a back row and giving your monsters a buff. A lot easier to go into now because of things like Snake Eye and Tenpai. So pretty useful like that. Going into Xyz, 2 Moark as naturally the monster disruption in Plunder Patrol. Like very rarely a time I never want to go into a Moark. It's either really good of just being something to summon off a Blackbeard, or even just a hard Xyz summon is also good. I typically prefer to try and hard Xyz summon one of these, just so I've got its protection effect to protect Plunder Patrols by detaching material. And then other Xyz I'm playing 1 copy of Abyss Dweller just in case it comes up. And the last of my Xyz line are rank 8 for me to take advantage of the Horus engine. So 1 is the Zombie Vampire. So I thought about playing this after I did the tag tournament. My partner Joe was using this with his Horus engine, and I thought to myself when I was seeing him do it. So Zombie Vampire naturally has the effect: detach 1, both players mill 4, then you can special summon a monster out of them. So from the perspective I thought of in Plunder Patrol, I thought to myself, let's see, mill 4, so I'm potentially putting attributes into my opponent's graveyard that I can use. So 1, I'm putting attributes in my opponent's graveyard that I could potentially use. 2, I get to special summon a free monster. And 3, it lets me set up bits in my graveyard as well. So yeah, pretty good synergy with that. And then the other rank 8 I'm playing is Dingirsu. Just primarily for the perspective that it's got the 2 materials I can use to shield something. Also, on the chance I go second, it's a good option there. And maybe I don't need to swipe an attribute. I could go make Dingirsu and then just send something, so get rid of a disruption without targeting. And then last cards in the extra deck, my 2 fusion monsters, which are 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Lease. So actually, Lease, the fusion monster, which is you summon if your opponent's using light attribute, and Lease is just really amazing because one of the main things I like doing with Lease is just being able to loot Blackbeard, so I've got constant access to different Plunder Patrols as and when I need them. So yeah, that's overall. So overall, just really amazing. Going into my side deck very quickly, haven't really changed up my side deck much, but currently it's 3 Ghost Ogre, 3 Triple Tactics Talents, 3 Raigeki, 1 Ovs, got 1 Feather Duster, 1 Spell Shattering Arrow, 1 Rivalry of Warlords. Warlords is a bit iffy now because naturally I'm on the Horus engine, so it's not always as easy to use, but still can be pretty crippling against certain decks. And 3D Barrier, because we're kind of just in that format now where there is lots of assaulted extra deck summoning decks. We've got Synchro with Tenpai. I'm still seeing quite a bit of Sword Soul at my locals. I can do Ritual for when I have to go against Voiceless Voice. And Telemint variants still show up as well, along with branded variants, so Fusion comes up. Xyz doesn't really come up too frequently, but still, there's just so much that Dimensional Barrier is hitting this format. And just as a quick added thing into the deck profile, guys, for those wondering what I'm using as my tokens for Yord's effect, I generated my own Plunder Patrol token, so I've got 2 fire, 2 light, 2 dark, and then I also have an Adventurer token as well. Okay, so that's the profile, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below on what you thought about it. And if there's any suggestions you guys could want to make to the build, let me know. I will quickly say the only suggestion I could think of adding into this build is the Tidal Dragon Ruler, because naturally Tidal works on discarding itself in a water, which the entire deck is waters. That can also trigger effects as well, similar to the Imp set, and it's just mill a free card, so that's ridiculously good. I would be playing it. Unfortunately, right now, I don't have a Tidal. I need to work on picking that up. So that's probably the only thing I would change in my deck. But again, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.